Hey, sup, y'all. Just for warning, there's construction going on my roof right now. So, you're gonna be hearing a lot of shit. You're gonna be hearing a lot of yelling and talking and banging and stuff. So, just a heads up, probably things falling too. So, just quick heads up. If it gets annoying grading, uh, yeah, just like log off. My fam my family went to Costco to try to find some food because all the other stores have no food at all. Oh yeah, I'm live. We made it. It's really warm today. Like perfect temperature for me. What's the thing? How do you do that thing again? How do I do that? No, how do I do that? Okay, I'm still learning how to do my MacBook. Still learn how to use it. Oh, two finger swipe. Okay. It's 63 today. Okay. That's perfect temperature for me. You're gonna be hearing a lot of that too. They're installing the solar panels. I want to play music, but I know Instagram's gonna copyright my shit. Fuckers can literally fuck off. Okay, I don't think I've shown y'all this chick yet. I've shown her on Twitter, but not here, I think. Okay. So I've been seeing a lot of WandaVision around. Like literally everyone and their mama is watching it. And it's literally all I see on my TL and on my home page, on my Explore page. And of course, that just sparked my inspiration. Part of my brain is like, black girl, superpowers, cool witch-like powers, go. And yeah, that's essentially what she is. There's no name for her. There's no backstory for her. At least not yet. It's just, she just exists. This is. Hey, don't do that. My Wi-Fi's such a shitty. So, I have been gone for a hot minute. It was very no bueno. Very no bueno. Kind of like the idea though, but I don't think it'll flow like that. Poofy hair like that doesn't really flow like that. I like the idea. I like it. So let's do like a general. Jesus. So like let's do. For some reason, I'm struggling with coming up with, well, not coming up with, more like deciding her hairstyle. I haven't really fully decided on what her power will be. Like, I know the look of it, but I don't know what it would exactly be called or what exactly shall be, if you get my drift. Because again, no backstory for her. I want her hair to be really, really long. Like, almost unnaturally long. You know, there's technically not really a natural hair length. I've seen hair this big, naturally. It's bonkers, but it exists. Man, these past few days have been horrendous. Left in the freezing cold without any type of heating besides body heat. Thank goodness, literally a week before, my grandparents sent us all blankets with our flag on it. The timing is absolutely insane. Yeah, it's so bonkers because on Saturday, we went out, well, me and my mom went out to get my new glasses, which I still don't have yet. The place was experiencing technical difficulties, so we're behind on stuff. So they told us on Saturday that it will take 10 days for my glasses to come in. It's probably be a lot longer now. So yeah, that's the thing. We went out, and it was absolutely fucking freezing and raining, and we got food. And that was a struggle. Getting food on Saturday was really hard. A lot of stuff was gone. And then Sunday was Valentine's Day. It was still pretty cold. And then Monday morning, it snowed while I was asleep, and then the power started. Then it started doing the rolling blackout shit. Like, luckily we saw that coming and charged everything beforehand, but she was still really not pleasant when it went out. It stayed out. And it was so annoying. It was like 30 minutes off, 30 minutes on, 30 minutes off, 30 minutes on. Like, God, man, can you just turn it off? He kept fucking with my laptops. I just hear bing, 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 bing. My God, leave me be. Just absolutely chaotic. And then they did turn it off fully, I think. Or maybe it just stayed too long in another rotation. I don't know. But it did turn off for a bit. So it was first 30 minutes off, 30 minutes on. And then they changed. Then the time in between grew longer. Like an hour off, an hour on. And it just kept growing longer, 3 hours off, 3 hours on. Shit, sometimes it'd be 3 hours off and only an hour on. And that was the worst. And then we went a whole day without any type of power, and that was the absolute worst. Because the house was already getting really cold because of the off-on thing. And then they turned off for an entire day. And the house wasn't able to heat itself anymore. So I would literally be seeing my breath inside my house. Inside, in this room, actually. We're in the dining room. Well, dining room, kitchen room, and living room. They all are connected to each other. And you'd be seeing your breath come out during nighttime. Nighttime was the worst. Nighttime is always the worst when the power goes off. Because it's just dark all the time. And there's nothing for you to do. You don't realize how often you're on your phone at night, or for how long you're on your phone at night, until you go through a power outage. Because then you're just laying there in bed fuck do I do now? There's nothing to entertain you. And you just only have your overactive imagination. Which was really fucking... It doesn't help if you have a fear of dark. I'm not as afraid of the dark as I used to be as a kid. I can sleep in it now. But I still don't like sleeping in it. If I have an option. I sleep with my lamp on. My lamp is the sole light source of my room. I have a ceiling light, but I never use it. I don't know why. I just don't feel like it. So at night you just be sitting up, sitting in your bed, shivering, trying to keep warm as possible. I would leave my blinds open because outside would be lighter than inside, so that was the only way I was able to tell where I was. My MacBook, though. This thing, what a trooper. It stayed on the entire time. It went into sleep mode whenever I didn't touch it for like 5 minutes. But it never once ran out of battery, ever. The lowest it got, I think, was in the 70s. Like, man. Like, this was my nightlight. Like, anytime I woke up and it was dark, I would just tap my laptop and it would turn on. What a trooper, honestly. My old laptop could never. My old laptop cannot survive 3 hours off the charger. That's just the most annoying thing about it. It's always been like that. Don't know why. And then Tuesday, it's just so fucking boring. Daytime is a lot easier because at least you have some natural light. Even though it was like extremely cloudy, you had some sort of natural light going on. Like, the biggest downside of like daytime was that you really had nothing to do besides, keep warm. That was just it. Keep warm. Like, my mom was getting on my case about walking around the house. Like, she always gets on my case by walking around the house without my house shoes. Because she's always like, Alex, the ground is cold. Like, yes, I'm very well aware. But sometimes my feet get hot in my shoes. I need to put them on the cold ground to cool them down. Our fingertips were turning blue. That was awful. Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday. Wednesday was the worst. That was when we had no power all day and all night. So the house was just deathly cold. And we had very little energy to do anything. And the cell phone towers were fucked. So our data, absolutely useless. None of us had data. Even when the power came back on during the rolling blackout, the Wi-Fi wouldn't work. So we just had no news of anything going on around us. We were just essentially cut off from communication, which was horrible for me. That was the worst part of it for me. Being cut off from communication and not knowing what's happening. Luckily, my uncle used his work phone and his work hotspot. I don't know why that worked, but who knows? I was able to text and figure out stuff, whatever was going on. You mostly use it to scroll on Twitter, but you find out a lot of stuff happening via Twitter. And then on Wednesday, both my iPad and my phone died. So the little amount of entertainment I had on my phone, I have YouTube videos screen recorded on my phone from months ago. I was saving them. I was going to delete them, but I just kept them. And thank God I did, or else I would have been bored out of my mind. And then it was just you saved YouTube videos and Apple Music. That was it. I didn't have all my stuff downloaded on my new phone yet because I don't know, I'm just lazy. And I paid the price for that laziness. So I'd just be waking up early morning because when I usually do wake up like around up to 2, and just watching the same two saved YouTube videos I had. That wasn't fun. Ooh, somebody dropped something. And I honestly felt like I was going insane. Like I was just sinking into madness without any stimulation. Because at least when I had my iPad, I was able to draw, which was what I just did majority of the time, just drew stuff. Well, I say drew stuff when I just drew one thing, really. But yeah, I'll introduce you to what I drew. It's one of Lucettes' children. He's a really special one, very special one. For many reasons that you will soon see. Anyways, at least when I had my iPad, I was able to draw. When both of those shut off, I was just left to my own devices, into my imagination. And then my family members would be so cold sometimes that they would just didn't have the energy to speak. Like they would just have the energy to just lay in bed and curl up. So I'd just be walking around for the entirety of Wednesday. I would just be walking around my house and stare at the window. That's it. Which was so useless because all there was snow and gray skies. And it was just pure gray. No variations, no nothing. It's just pure gray and white. And I just felt my mind deteriorating. Physically sinking into madness. It's just, there is nothing interesting that's just striking my attention. And with that stimulation, I generally kind of did fear for my mental health. I think it became obvious to my family members because I was just filled with this urge to burn something. I was in, like, all Wednesday when my phone and stuff died, I was in a destructive mood. And for a few hours after, it was like, okay, I'm fine. Just chill. I just daydream situations and stuff. And that did keep me busy for a bit. And then my mind was like, okay, listen, man, I can't keep doing this all day, every day. And with nothing else to distract me, I was like, I just wanted to destroy something. I don't know. I guess I become destructive when I don't have stimulation. I just wanted to burn something. I don't care what it was. And it helped that we were using a lighter for our gas stove because it's gas, yes, but apparently the lighter on the stove that lights the flame is electric, which we found out the hard way when it didn't work when the power was off. So that was a pain in the ass. So we had to use a lighter. So we had to turn on the gas stove and then light the match. Well, not the match. Light the lighter quickly before it gets too much. So I was essentially banned from the stove. Well, basically anyone under 20 was banned from the stove. For that very reason. So we don't explode the house. So the lighter was out all the time. I'm just like, find myself staring at it and wanting to burn something. Or wanting to like just scratch something, break it, something. I just wanted to destroy something. I was in a very destructive mood on Wednesday. Is that healthy? I don't know. Probably not. Or maybe that's just the part of isolation. Maybe that's a symptom of isolation. Who knows? You never know. There's probably a study on it, but I'm lazy. So I'm not gonna go look for it. So yeah, that was fucking awful. I'll just keep it like that. Yeah. And then finally, early Thursday morning, like literally after 12:40, while we were sleeping, the power came back. It's so funny because the previous night on Wednesday night while we were eating dinner, we were just like, hopefully the power comes on during the night. Because we just preferred having power at night rather than daytime. Because at least daytime you have natural light. Nighttime. And this whole situation fucked up my sleeping schedule so badly. Because there was nothing for me to do, especially at nighttime. I didn't really want to leave my room. I didn't want to leave my room at night. Well, no one wants to leave their room at night. Because that was the worst type of cold. Like, I would literally make food and just bring the entire... I would just bring the entire bowl, plate, cereal box, tuna stuff. I would just bring all of it. Like, I made tuna. And I brought the tuna bowl. And the bread bag, the entire bread bag into my room, along with like a whole jug of Gatorade. Just so I wouldn't have to keep going in and out, in and out, in and out. I would just eat on my bed. This is how we dealt with it. And man, thinking of dinner for those days sucked. Because so much of us, because we didn't really went hardcore shopping. It was only like light shopping. So we didn't really have much stuff. And then a lot of our stuff is stored in the fridge. And my mom, she just, whenever the power goes off, she hates it when we use the fridge. So she'd be like, keep the cold in, keep the cold in. Like, the entire house is cold. The cold is already in. Like, the fridge would be warmer than the house. Dead ass. The pantry be fucking freezing. But it's always freezing in there. Because it's close to outside the door, to the back door. What if? Oh, he's awake. What if I make it like blowing in the wind? That is not like blowing in the wind. So yeah, that's essentially my experience during this historic event. And when the power came back on Thursday, we were just, I literally, when I realized the power was on, like, okay, so I woke up. I don't know what woke me up or whatever. I opened my eyes because I was sleeping at the end of my bed, so sleeping at the front of my bed. I was sleeping facing the window, so I had some sort of light to see. So I opened my eyes, I saw light in the neighbor's window. I was like, oh, it's probably their flashlight, because I was able to see their flashlight from my window, like the flashlight they would use to carry around and see. I guess that was the kids' room. I guess there's like a sort of table. What do you call that thing? End table? Bedside drawer? I don't know. There's the nightstand. I guess there was a nightstand next under the window because they would just place the flashlight on there and it would move. So I'm guessing that's where they keep where it stood. So I was like looking at it. I was looking to the window and there was light. And I didn't really comprehend at first. It's like, oh, it's their flashlight. And then I stared at it long and was like, wait, that doesn't look like a flashlight. Their flashlight has a bluish tint. And then their entire window was lit up, not just like a flashlight. And then it hit me, the power's back. I checked my MacBook, I checked the battery, and it said charging, and it just clicked, the power's back on. And I literally just scrambled up from my bed and started digging for my phone. Okay, I hadn't had it plugged in, I should have, but I didn't. I was using the last with the battery. And I couldn't find my phone. I was suddenly just throwing everything off my bed onto the floor. Pillows, blankets, the freshly washed clothes that I just finished washing. Just everything, searching for my phone. When I finally found it, I think because I was just thinking, get it before it goes. Get it before the power goes. Get it before the power goes. Get it before the power goes. You can't go another day without any stimulation. You need something. You need some sort of music. You need some sort of moving pictures. You need something. This house ain't it. It was, man, plug my phone and hearing the satisfying ding. God, that was ecstasy. And I mean it. You may think I'm being over dramatic, but I mean it. Just fuck a day without any type of mental stimulation or visual stimulation. Literally fucking awful. Would never do that again, willingly. So, yeah. We were just like on edge the entire day. Like, is it gonna go off? Is it gonna go off? Because we didn't know what was gonna happen. We didn't know if it was a rolling blackout or what. It's just, and yeah, that's essentially what happened. And even when the power came back on, we were still like, we're not allowed to touch the fridge. So yeah, that was my experience. So that was my experience. If you're wondering why our pipe didn't freeze up or anything, so my family comes from a place where uh, everyday electricity was never a guarantee, was never a sure thing. Like back home, electricity would turn off, like the overall electricity would just shut off for anything. It could be a nice sunny day, normal day, and there would be no electricity in your house all of a sudden. And no one ever really knew why it does that. It just did that. So electricity was never a fully guaranteed. So we're used to having like oil lamps, candles, flashlights, and stuff like that saved up just in case. And we lived in cold climates before. Well, we lived in Japan. And I was in 2011, Japan. We all remember what was going on there. All the electricity on the base went out. That was horrible. I think that was worse than now. At least now it's like just, snow and ice. With Japan, it was an earthquake, and the aftershocks would strike at night, primarily at night. And it's terrifying to a little kid's mind. And it didn't help that some stuff did collapse, and that all the adults were like taking it a lot more seriously than other earthquakes. So that was terrifying. And you're in a foreign country. And then hearing about the tsunami and stuff, we were kind of like on the edge, like, is it gonna hit us? Or do we gotta go? So that was terrifying. That was worse. So we're just accustomed to freezing, bearing with no power in cold situations. We're especially used to natural disasters. I've faced almost every natural disaster in the world so far. I haven't experienced a volcano eruption, and honestly, kind of don't want to. I say kind of, I really don't want to. I don't want to at all, unless I'm visiting, like Hawaii or something. Unless I go to visit a volcano. That's the only reason. And I'm afraid to keep it like that. So yeah, even though the weather caught us completely off guard, it didn't catch us unprepared. That is one thing we can say. me try and think of a good hairstyle. This is harder than it looks. There's gotta be a black hairstyle. So yeah, that was that nightmare. Going back on, getting back to like communication stuff and the internet. Absolutely, it was absolute bonkers because like everybody's freaking out and stuff. They're saying like we need help and stuff. I just had no idea that the situation was that bad. I thought it was just like my city. I didn't think it was widespread all of Texas. So that was quite a surprise to see. I appreciate all the concern though. We're like, when you look outside, everything looks like it's back to normal. But like, we're still feeling repercussions of it because food, very limited right now. Food and water. Like yesterday, my mom searched through like grocery stores and there's no food. And today, we found out food is limited right now. So we just can't like go and shop normally. We're limited to like this many cans per person, this many packs of whatever for this person. That's what's going on now. So we can't be really reckless with our eating right now. And I found out yesterday we're under a boil water notice. We're still under that. So I'm not allowed to drink any water from the tap without boiling it. Which thankfully, I never drink water from the tap without boiling it. I only ever drink water from the tap when it's for like cooking. Like for my coffee or for my ramen or for, to boil something. If I want to drink water as it is, I just get bottled water or from the fridge. Because why not? It's a little weird to drink from the tap, especially like here. I don't know about drinking from the tap water here. That ain't really the vibe. So, yeah, that's kind of that's still the situation we're in. Hopefully, this is the last of the winter storms that hit us. Watch my nature decides to be a bitch to me. Okay, so for how this hair works, let's go to this. It starts like here. So the idea is that goes to here, here. So it's not separated. It's one big cloud thing that just waves. But IRL hair like that doesn't really work like that. But you know, I'm not doing IRL. I'm doing a fucking MCU. I want to do braids, but I don't have a braid brush. Like, I tried searching for braid brushes for Procreate. Oh my god. The only ones I could find for like Procreate and that would fit with my style, they all cost money and they're all on Gumroad. I don't have any money to use on Gumroad. I don't have a PayPal or Venmo or any of that. Because my friend doesn't know how to use that apparently. So if I wanted to buy something, gift card I got for Christmas, I think it was like what, $50, $100? I don't remember. But not having a braid brush is so fucking terrible. I just want to make one myself, but I don't know how to do that. I know how to make a stamp brush, but I don't know how to make a continuous brush like this. And I can't seem to find a tutorial to how to do that either. So like, if y'all know someone who knows how to make a continuously going brush like this, or who has a, okay, when I say a braid, let me clarify when I say braids. I'm talking about black braids, by the way. Like cornrows. Like braids can be used for cornrows and stuff, for black hair. Just so you know. So don't be coming in here and giving me like a brush for a French braid. Hell no. Cornrows. Black hair. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna tell y'all now before y'all embarrass yourselves. Oh my god. Doing braids individually is so much work. I just don't have time for that, man. My ideas are spinning. I'm sure you could like just do blocks and like just do blocks and it's like no. Like look at this. It's ugly. It just doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. But I desperately need it. I desperately need a braid and a dread brush today. I might just, fuck around to find out. Should we switch and just do that? Just do a braid brush and just fuck around and find out? I think we should save that for another stream. Like part 2 of this. But anyways, yeah, we'll do that for like part 2, I guess. Maybe later. I don't know. Anyways, we're talking about, right, powers. So, what I want her powers to look like. Kind of like very squiggly. Okay, not like that. Like this. Now that I think about it. That covers up her other eye. Shit, I did not think that through. Well, I kind of imagine it's gonna be like a little see-through. Okay, see, that works. Well, either like this or like this. Actually, no, not like that. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, kind of like that. And then have the same thing, like kind of go behind her, like it's joining up or something. And I want to have sound. I mean, for some reason in Marvel, powers always have a sound cue, which makes sense. But I want the sound of this power to be almost gooey in a sense. Kind of slimy. Not gooey. Not. I'm explaining it terribly. I don't know if it's say gooey or slimy. I don't know how to describe the sound. I don't know how to describe the sound. Kind of like. Like a really quiet that. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to describe the thought I have. I don't know. I just don't know how to describe it. Like one kind of sound like, you know how in space movies, like when there's like a black hole or something, like a void or something, there's this kind of sound, like a really slowed down type of roar. Not like a lion roar, but a roar, but slow it down by like 10%, 50%. Or I'm trying to find a good IRL comparison. Oops. Bitch. What sound? Okay, so what sound does iceberg make when it's rubbing against, sliding against another iceberg? I don't know. I don't know how to describe that sound. Like a sound that movies include when something big has appeared. Like something naturally big. Like a big ship or a big mountain has appeared. And it's supposed to like this imposing sound. Like that's kind of intimidating. Oh, I think I should look it up on YouTube. I'm trying to find a good comparison. Probably not gonna. Cause I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't even think I'll be able to find it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm describing because I don't think I've recently watched any of that sound cue. I don't know what I'm looking for. You know what? We'll figure it out later. It is what it is. I feel like I should replace it with this. Ooh, yeah, that looks better. I was gonna say like I want it to look like Raven's powers, but like Raven's powers when on her hands is like just circular, so that's kind of boring. So yeah, bad comparison. Does it sound similar to what I'm describing in the Blair Witch 2016 remake? But like, not really. Because followed by a roar. And it's not a roar, but it sounds like one, but really slowed down. You know what I mean? Please tell me y'all get what I'm trying to say. That you know what I'm talking about. I'm probably just really shit at describing stuff with audio. I'm trying to find a video with what I'm talking about. Oh wait, this might work actually. Let's turn that up. No, not that. Like that, kind of similar to that. Not the violin like noise, what came before. Let me slow down a little bit. No, a little too fast. Kind of like that sound, like that noise. Oh, that was loud enough. Let me turn it up.
Fragmented into their smallest parts until not one part remained.
Like that kind of growl noise. Not the violin, like high pitched noise. Like what's beneath that?
Annihilation.
Okay, that portion. So like, ignore her talking. If you're wondering what I'm looking at, I'm looking at the Annihilation movie from 2018, the Shimmer Speaks scene. Like the background, low pitched noise in the background. That's the noise I'm talking about. It's close enough. It's close enough. Not exactly, but close enough. And we just gotta deal with that. Can't have everything. I'm too lazy to redraw that circle all over again. I'm a lazy person. Sue me. Despite finding a good enough indication of that sound, I'm still trying to find a better sound of like that. Trying to find. I looked through my history, by the way. If that's what you're wondering if I'm looking at. I don't think I've recently watched anything with that sound. Yeah, like, see, this looks cool. This looks good. I'm trying to find a good indicator of that sound. Like, I think that's what it sounds like an iceberg. I don't know how to describe that because I only heard an iceberg like through videos and stuff, and never seen one IRL. I can't find a good video of it. Like, it's that low rumbling like sound, like when a character's looking up at something huge. It just Hope y'all get what I'm saying. Ooh, I actually think this might be close enough. Yes, like that sound. That sound. Like that sound and the annihilation rumbling background sound. Those are the sounds that I want associated with her powers. Okay, so I'm looking at Stargate taken before Raw 2000. No, not 2000, 1994. Oops. I don't know if y'all heard it, so I'm gonna turn up louder. The people on the roof are quiet now. Yes, that type of noise. That's the sound I want you to hear whenever she uses her powers. Like, I am set on that sound. So, now that my oddly obsessed searching has come to an end, back to work, children, back to work. So, what her powers are? Had no fucking clue. Good question. Is this see through? Is the capacity? Yeah, it's a little down. Like, one of my ideas is have her powers be like a black hole. It's pretty stupid because we never blew up black holes. I don't know why black holes. Space themed stuff has been on my mind all week. I'm designing something important to me. Yeah, it's space theme. And then, okay, so one of the ideas, let's get to text layer. Like, first idea. Black hole, similar. I'm using the worst brush for writing right now. So, whatever. Now we're gonna switch. Then my other idea was, what was it? I think, what was it, dark matter? Was that what I was thinking of? I don't remember. Yeah, I think so. If it wasn't, whatever. But like, I know very little about dark matter. We all know very little about dark matter, but you know. And then my third idea was like having like kind of like shadows, like very like shadows, like not in a supernatural way, but just in like a realistic fashion. If that makes any sense whatsoever, which it doesn't. Fourth idea. So, black hole, dark matter, shadows. No, not goo. I don't want it to be gooey or slimy. I just want to be kind of like. I had another idea, but can't name it right now for some reason. Ugh, I forgot what it was. It'll probably hit me later. But yeah, it probably hit me. So those were. Excuse me. So those were the ideas I had for power. What I wanted to be influenced by. Like not exactly what they are, but like the way they move and stuff and the way they work with their surroundings like that. That's kind of wanted to be associated with. And it's weird. Because, like, Wanda's power, it's said to be, like, telekinesis. Even though telekinesis doesn't usually look like that. But then again, it's kind of hard to show telekinesis because it's just, you know, it's mind powers. What would mind powers really look like? I don't know. Do you know? I don't. And then, no, I remember. The fourth idea was like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, the only thing my mind could think was like, I know. Let me make this shit smaller. Actually, no, it wasn't like that. The pitch black between the stars or pitch black behind the stars, whatever. I don't know where that quote came from. I think it was like what? The Rise of the Guardian books? I think so. I don't know. I've heard referenced so often. I don't remember. But yeah, I don't know what. I don't know what the fuck that means. Like, pitch black between stars. That's not a material. I don't know what it is, unless that's what dark matter is. Are they connected? Who knows? I don't know. I should probably have done more research. But again, this is just for fun. And sometimes the stuff Marvel comes up with don't make any fucking sense, you know? You just vibe with that. Hell yeah. So, yeah, those were like the ideas of what her power should be influenced by. And backstory, I don't know. I don't know where backstory is. Okay, so like the first, here we go. Make another layer. First BGS. That's what we're calling backstory. Like the first backstory was like she's the daughter of Monica. Just like have her be the daughter of Monica, and she died. Not Monica. This chick dead. Killed by what? Who the fuck knows? I don't know. Died naturally, I guess. Died in an accident. Killed in a blip. Who knows? Blip, snap. Is that what they call it? They're calling it a blip? I don't know. Snap, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. That snapped. Died of... And I'm gonna say in Wanda's little reality corner. if y'all watch that show, I don't. I just know everything that's happened because everyone's posting about it. If you're watching the show, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I'm not an asshole. But if you already watched that episode, then you know why I'm using quotation marks. But yeah, in Wanda's little reality corner, I don't know whether to say accidentally or on purpose or purposely. Like one that accidentally or purposefully brought her back to life. I hate doing the two thing, but we're out of room. I'm too lazy to fix it. W. Yeah. Do actually have she brought her back to life. Maybe she's the same way she did with Vision. I don't know. One of those ways. And she's placed in the hex. Is that what they're calling it? The hex? I think so. You can tell I don't watch that show. She's placed in the hex. And it's just, kind of also like being low-key mind controlled. And like she can't go outside of it because or else she dies. Or she go bye-bye. She'll yeet. And in the hex, Monica and her are kind of reunited, but then they're not really aware they're reunited or that they left. They're one mother and daughter. And they're not even like aware that they were gone. So, they're stuck together. And then Monica is thrown out of the hex by Wanda. I remember seeing that. And that's when, like, it kind of hits Monica that, oh no. Well, I don't know why I said it like that. Oh no. My child's alive. That's not good. Which is more like, oh, my daughter's alive again. like the kind of realization that you were with your previously dead child that whole time. You weren't really aware of it. And, waste of time and all that shit. So, yeah, angst. I always gotta include some angst in there. So, of course, when Monica is thrown out, that kind of leaves this kid, I say kid, I'm kind of imagining her as a teenager. What age? Who knows? She obviously looks like a teenager. But yeah. So, this kid is then. Wait, I should probably write all that down. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, of course, when Monica got thrown out, that kind of leaves this kid alone. And she slowly, very slowly, starts to, like, break out of the mind control. It's really slow, like, kind of like, when you forget your keys and kind of like do that stutter stop? Like, really, okay, no, that's the wrong term. When you're going into a room, like you're going upstairs to get something, but when you get upstairs, you're just like, wait, why did I come up here? And you just can't remember why. Like, that's what starts happening. She starts questioning, like, some stuff, like, my mom should be coming home. And then, like, she kind of was like, wait, I don't have a mom. Because to fix, Monica's whole, like, let me not say it like that, Monica's absence, like, the witch tries to, kind of make her forget about Monica. Like, oh, you never really had mom, and try to fix that memory thing. But of course, that doesn't really work very well, because then she's like, oh, I should be waiting for mom to come home. It's just like, wait, but I don't have a mom. And, like, it's the mind control and her subconscious fighting. And she's just, really, really confused about everything. Then, like, she starts, like, kind of looking around the house where she's in for a bit. Like, if I don't have a parent, why am I in a 2-bedroom house then? Why is there all these, like, stuff that's not mine in it? And then, she starts slowly waking up more, like, wait, where even am I? I wasn't here when I went to sleep. And, like, wait, did I go to sleep? I don't remember anything happening. That type of shit. So she starts questioning more and more. And then eventually she kind of, fully wakes up. It kind of realizes, like, shit is happening, yo. None of this shit makes sense. Yeah, like, stuff. Like, then she wakes up and it's like, wait, I should be dead. How hormones, like, wait, this deep philosophical movies. It's philosophical. philosophical. Got it. These deep philosophical movies where like the main character realizes they've been dead all along. All that shit. Yeah, she hits that realization. Kind of causes a minor existential mental crisis. Like, how am I here? Where's my family? How did I get here? What happened? How long has it been since I've last seen, or since I last died? That stuff. But, like, she notices, like, everybody else acts weird too, and things don't really make sense. But of course, because she's a teenager, which is essentially a kid, she's, not really, she's just laying low for a little bit. Try not to attract attention to herself. She just knows something is up and it doesn't make sense. She shouldn't be here and all that. And then she notices that Wanda doesn't act like the rest of the town. And neither does Vision quite. And then she recognizes Wanda, like, wait a minute, isn't that an Avenger? And then she sees Vision, like, wait, that's definitely an Avenger. What the fuck? Realization comes in. And then it hits her, wait, I was with my mom the whole time. I didn't even react or anything. And another mental breakdown, as we all do. The grieving process. Liz tries to look for her mom, but can't find her anywhere. But she distinctly remembers her. Well, I say distinctly, more like very, very in a blur. Remembers her mom being in there with her. Again, because the blur, she's not quite sure what happened. She wasn't with Monica when she got tossed out. She was somewhere else. So she's trying to look for her. We can't find her or even find evidence that she existed besides, the home. And, as the kid she is, she starts grieving because her family's gone. She has no idea where she went. She has no idea where she is. She doesn't know even how old she is. She doesn't know what happened. She doesn't know she doesn't really know anything. And she notices that Wanda has more control over everything. Control over everything. Anyways, continuing on. Where was I? Grief. Yeah, grief. So she starts grieving because, realizes that you've been dead. Your mom gone. Family gone. You don't know what the fuck is happening. And she notices that Wanda has more control over this. The things happening according to Wanda's will. The things happening according to Wanda's will, and as teenager, she blames she assumes that this is all Wanda's fault. And that Wanda basically went AWOL. So she starts growing to hate Wanda. Yeah. She starts growing to hate Wanda. And she starts blaming her. She thinks it's her fault that her mom's gone. Things don't really make sense. Well, she's not really that far off, but shit happening. So yeah, she starts hating Wanda. Wanda becomes her enemy. But she knows she can't take on Wanda because she got no powers, fam. At first. Then, so she starts, quietly moving around, poking, the edges, and tries to get out. But, it's hard to get in and hard to get out. Shit starts happening. Anyways, sorry, I was wondering with a stupid comment. As always happens. So yeah, she starts poking around. She keeps trying to get out. Well, she's trying to sneak out. She doesn't want to bring Wanda's attention onto her that she's not being controlled anymore. And I don't know if this is confirmed. I don't know the explanation about her powers are going to come from. I just know she's not born with them. And she didn't have them before she died. She had them after. I don't know if it's confirmed yet. Again, I don't watch it. I just saw a lot of information. A shit ton of information about it, and, mine went overactive. So she tries to get out, tries to sneak out, and it fucks with her DNA a little bit. Things start getting a little funky in there. No, it's not. Yeah, sorry, I'm being distracted. And things start going a little haywire. It starts fucking with her DNA and all that shit. And ta-da! Because she does that repeatedly. It's not a one-time thing. She keeps trying to get out repeatedly. Her DNA shifts, and then you get this and you get this shit. And they like she gets these powers, and she doesn't find out till like one time she was like trying to go somewhere, and then actually no, I don't know how she discovers her powers. That she has powers. Maybe like maybe burst of anger or something. Who knows? So when she finds out she has these powers, she starts getting ideas. Yeah. And then like yeah, she starts getting ideas. Where she's like, we're like, yeah, I need to kill Wanda. Yeah, she kind of, okay, she didn't jump to kill. She jumps with, I gotta use my powers to sneak out of here. Doesn't work, really. And then jumps to, okay, maybe I gotta do something about Wanda. And then jumps to, maybe I gotta incapacitate Wanda or distract Wanda. And then jumps to, I need to kill Wanda. Like she jumped to the kill part, like in a moment of rage when she was like going through. Yeah, you don't really fully stop grieving. Sometimes you go backwards and stay in between stages. So she jumps between the anger stage a lot. Like sometimes she has a relapse and just goes back to the anger stage. And one time when she was in the anger stage again, she jumped to I need to kill Wanda, and she latches onto the idea viciously. Which and as you probably know if you watched the latest episode, probably not a good idea. And then everything else is kind of like spoilers from the show, so maybe I should. And then yeah, she basically becomes like kind of a meaner person. Okay, I don't want to say mean. I'm gonna say mean. Her worldview becomes a little darker. Let's say that. We did literally, we did little to no work. I think I'm gonna make this see-through. Physics. I don't know if it's should be see-through or not. We'll decide on that later. But yeah, her worldview turns a little dark because again she's grieving, and again she keeps falling back to that anger stage. She hasn't reached the acceptance stage yet. Again, none of this is for certain. This is just the first backstory idea I've thought of. It's not for certain yet if I'm going to stick with that one or not. Yeah, her worldview gets a little darker. She feels helpless. She feels like she's changed, like she's caged somewhere, which she technically is. She basically is. So can't really blame her for that. And she's virtually left alone in somebody else's world. Well, not somebody else's world. Somebody else's, let's say, doll set. Let me go use that. That's what's happening. And yeah, she starts becoming, her worldview goes a little darker. she falls more to anger. She starts like, having ideas of like revenge and stuff. And starts deciding to kill Wanda. But of course, she's well aware that she's too weak to do that because, again, she's a teenager and just discovered these powers, and she has no idea how to use them. So, yeah, she lays low while she tries to figure out how these bad boys work. So yeah, did I spell group? Yeah. IE and EI is so hard. Yeah, everything goes through grief, which leads to what? Anger. You've really fallen, huh? No, what was that? I won't really say it's from the Hex Shield, whatever, what the fuck. It's from its influence on her DNA from repeated attempts of getting out. But that's too long to write. Yeah, simplification. My to use power. Undercover. That's learn how to use power while undercover. Goal? Yeah, goal vengeance against Wanda. Actually, no, let me move this. Yeah. And yeah, that's the first backstory idea that I've pulled out of my ass. You can tell. So, in two ways. The second backstory idea, damn boy. backstory idea. Um, Random girl who lived in Westview. At the time. And who just basically got caught up in the crossfire. And shit went sideways and gave her this. That was not as developed as the other one. And yeah, that's about it. That's about it. So again, what were we doing? Good. I think this live stream is about to end. So let me be right back and we'll get started on her outfit. Well, coloring it in. Deuces.